Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
You've been low-key thinking about dropping a podcast. Well, now is the time to start, brah. Sports, politics, finance, science, health, real estate, music, interviews, surfing, conspiracy theories, or alien abductions. Ready to main character your own content? We can make it happen with Turnkey Podcast Productions from 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida. Our local, modern, state-of-the-art multimedia recording studio is now available for booking, starting at just $100 an episode. Take your fandom to the next level. For more information, text the keyword studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio to 850-215-6290. Text studio 215-6290 or jam over to espnpc.com. Bruh.
Why'd I go to the doctor? Working on the farm, my heart kept skipping a beat. I didn't think much of it, but my daughters made me get checked out. Turns out I have atrial fibrillation, which increases the risk of stroke about 5 times.
Symptoms like irregular heartbeat, heart racing, chest pain, shortness of breath, fatigue, or lightheadedness can come and go. But if it's AFib, the risk of stroke remains. If you have symptoms, contact a doctor.
I'm so glad I did.
Visit notimetowait.com. Sponsored by Bristol Myers Squibb and Pfizer.
Remember, always be generous with the nutmeg. Just eyeball it.
Okay.
Mom's wisdom has served you well, but now it may be your turn to guide her.
Hey, I'm worried about Mom. She keeps forgetting her famous sweet potato pie recipe.
Some things come with age, sis.
And some don't.
Knowing the early signs of Alzheimer's in a loved one will help you make the best decisions for your family. Visit 10signs.org to learn the signs. Brought to you by the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVOQ Port St. John. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Lights, camera, action.
It's the Coach James Hale Show.
Do you know who I am?
Live and local inside the J. Michaels studio.
People know me.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub. Yeah. 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 Well.
Coach, you are looking mighty wonderful.
I tell you what, it's a nice change to have a different face over here. And
ain't no doubt.
We have all the substitutes for Coach Hale here today. So I'm number 2, Brian's number 1, and Patrick's number 3. So in case you isn't noticed, Coach Hale is not here. There was a strong wind coming in. He heard it was going to be cold. And
we had a little rain over the weekend.
We had rain, so he left. And if you see me fidgeting around, my little legs are not long enough to touch the floor. I'm trying to find the rails on this chair so I won't fall out. So if anything happens this morning, it's because I can't touch the floor. But anyway, welcome to the Coach James Hale Show. We got a big show for you today. And also, 8:15, we will be giving away something at Ferrucci's restaurant. So be sure we'll give you the cue to call, but you have to be number 10 to call. So anyway, and now hopefully we've got a coach on the phone, or we not. With 1 minute, we're going to look for him. But Patrick, tell us a little bit about what's going on down at your place.
Well, we're enjoying this little cool snap. This 58-degree weather we woke up to is just feeling great. Right now is the bug time. Mole crickets are coming out as far as your turf, and then we can get all the stuff inside your house. They're going to fix and start. We're seeing a lot of ants calls and stuff like that now.
What about the little flying bugs? Looks like ants fly. That's not termites, is it?
Some of them are termites swarming. Some of them are ants looking for new nests out there. It's a good time, like I said, to get your household treated because termites are coming, bugs are moving. They're looking for new homes.
Well, great. So I tell you what, my little windshield was covered this morning, even when we were moving fast. So they're out there swarming.
The bees are out, the wasps are out, all those flying insects. The mosquitoes are coming out now. Over the next couple of weeks, you're going to see a whole lot of that. You're going to see the baby mole crickets hatching and starting to damage yards. It's fixing to be fun.
Yeah, oh boy, I tell you what, yesterday, I was doing some things politically, but man, they were everywhere. Brian, how you doing today?
I'm good.
Good. So
glad to be in here.
Yep. Yeah, I'm glad to see you back home. No trip and everything.
Yeah, I was actually here for a weekend for once.
For once.
It was interesting. And it rained. That's what happens.
There you go. Well, we appreciate you bringing the rain back
there you
together. All right, let's bring him on, the winning coach over there at the Seahawks territory. So, Coach, how you doing this morning?
Good morning, guys. It's a great day. It's beautiful weather.
It is. Different voice today. Coach Hale's not here. The wind came up and it was going to rain, so he left.
He needs an extended weekend. We'll give him a pass this time.
That's good. Hey, you swept West Florida, so now you get to take on Swanee. So talk a little bit about your two big victories and then what's coming up on Friday.
Yeah, we swept Saturday. We actually had to move our game. We had tried to play a doubleheader Friday night because the original forecast last week showed, Friday a little more clear and Saturday heavy rain. But we moved the game Saturday after it was drizzling and cold Friday night. So we played Saturday night at 4 o'clock, 7, had an outstanding crowd. We won the first game 10-0. We had outstanding pitching from Coleman Borthwick. There was some big-time hitting. Parker Grancy hit a 3-run home run that just electrified the crowd. Vaughn Howard had a big double in that game. Nathan Whitney had doubles. Coleman Borthwick had a double, so just outstanding hitting there. Won the first game 10-0. 30 minutes later, we're playing game 2. So, we take a break, think both teams get a snack, kind of get the next lineup ready, and we rolled into that one. Denton Lord was outstanding. His first time pitching in a couple weeks, and he came out and really slammed the door on him early. He had good fastball, good breaking ball. It was great to see that. Had great pitching out of Denton for 5 innings. Went to Griffin Loy, who's another big-time pitcher of ours. He threw an outstanding inning, and then Parker Grancy threw the 7th. So, outstanding pitching. Again, we had big-time home runs. Vaughn Howard had a 3-run homer in that game, and Justin Didier hit his first career home run. So, looks like the offense is coming together. Hopefully we can get some big hits this coming week.
Well, Coach, if you keep winning, you keep hosting until the Final Four. Is that correct?
Yes, this will be the last series. This is the regional final.
Okay.
So, this weekend is our final, and it's a quick turnaround. We host Friday night at 7, Saturday at 1 o'clock, and then the if game following. So you finish Saturday, Sunday Mother's Day, I believe. We're looking at that, looking at our departure times. It's going to be pretty quick. So we play. The winner of this weekend series plays Wednesday at 7 o'clock in Fort Myers the following Wednesday. So you go from Saturday, playing an emotional regional final to having to have everything prepared to go down. So we're not overlooking our opponent. Swanee's a tough team. They're very athletic. They've got a bunch of good position players and some good pitching. So we're getting ready for a big-time matchup.
Hey, Coach, knowing how the playoffs schedule, just like what you were just talking about, how does that affect your pitching going in if you win this series, getting into the Wednesday game?
Well, that's a short turnaround, so any pitchers that throw Friday would have 4 days rest. So you got to look ahead a little bit because you want to have your pitcher ready to go. If you do win the series there Wednesday, so you've got to have a short rest. It's kind of crazy to me to think that they talk about all this arm health, all of protecting the pitchers. They've got pitch counts on everything, and then all of a sudden you get down to the finals and they short rest you, from your biggest game of the year, your regional final, to the state semifinals. Just crazy, but that's the cards we're dealt, and we've got to manipulate our pitching staff to to have a competitive arm ready to go, regardless. But you got to win. You have to win to advance. So, most teams don't have the depth we have or the amount of arms that we have that we can chop it up a little bit. But it's unbelievable that they short rest that, going into the finals for whatever reason, not field availability or whatever.
Yeah, it seems kind of crazy that, one year when Mosley went down there, the team that they were going to play had played illegal players. So they took all the wins away. They took all the wins away from them except the state tournament. So
jeez. They let them keep playing. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, but the next year they just moved to another school. It wasn't any. I mean, it was another private school,
right.
so they just moved. But so 2 out of 3 this coming weekend, and then the way you have to figure it. I know you've done this way ahead of me, but so like if they pitch on Saturday, you're really going to have to pitch on Thursday if you win Wednesday. So maybe you break it up. I don't know how all the strategy goes, but at least you got the same lineup with all your infielders and outfielders that play regular. So
that's right. I think you just got to watch pitch count. If you go up to the maximum amount of pitches for an 18-year-old is 105, and if you stay below 105, if you reach that threshold, I believe like 85 pitches, you got to have 4 days rest. I'm pretty sure if you stay in that 75 range, if you stay below 75, it's a 3 days rest. There's different thresholds for how many pitches you throw and how many days rest you have to have.
Yep.
But, it's different. I mean, here's what I'm trying to clarify. When you got guys that throw mid-upper 90s, these guys have worked hard to develop their arms, and we've done a great job resting them and giving them the arm care they need to be strong and healthy. You need those days rest coming off of, violent throws, when you're throwing hard. It's different when a guy's throwing 82 miles an hour and a guy's throwing 97, consistently. You gotta protect them. And, that's the thing at the end of the day, we're going to protect our arms. We'll do whatever we got to do to win, whatever it takes to win. But at the end of the day, that's why we developed so many pitchers here. We have a great staff. We have arms that haven't thrown in weeks that are outstanding. They throw an inter squad every week, and they're just very talented, strong, and would probably be number 1 pitchers or number 2 pitchers at other schools.
Are you now? How many seniors do you have?
I have 11 seniors. It's an outstanding group. These guys, a lot of them I've coached since they were 8 years old. I love this group because they've poured into our culture and our program, and we've gotten better and better. They've won over 102 wins now. It's unbelievable how much they've come together and brought this program together and the culture of the community. This is their 3rd regional final in 4 years. I think outstanding leader and captain of our team that doesn't get enough credit, Hudson Quinn, our catcher. Everybody talks about our pitches. Somebody's got to catch that stuff.
Right.
And whenever, you got multiple guys throwing in those mid-90s, different movements and stuff, and he's just tough, gritty, emotional leader. So proud of that kid, watching him for 4 years, his progression and growth. It's just very rewarding as a coach when you have the caliber of character of these kids and the talent. So much fun to help develop these guys. It's been an awesome ride.
Now, who do you got? I'm sure you have a good JV program, but who do you have some sophomores and juniors are ready to move in and step up?
Oh, outstanding juniors and sophomores that are contributing this year. Jaden Cunningham's come off an injury. He's been swinging the bat very well. He's an awesome outfielder, big left-handed power, getting a lot of attention. Justin Didier, another physical specimen. Drew Igu. All these guys are juniors, can really swing the bat well. They all pitch as well. We also have Peyton Norwood's kind of developing into a great hitter. He's ready. Noah Coleman. We got a couple sophomores that have contributed quite a bit this year. Carter Hawk, Clayton Jarrell. We got an awesome sophomore that hasn't played a whole lot that's ready to go. His name's Ryan Morgan. So the future's very bright with talent. In our younger, underclassmen, they work around the clock, and the message to them is, yes, we're loaded with seniors. Yes, we've got primetime Division I talents and draft prospects at the top, but you guys keep working. When you get your opportunity, you'll be ready to go, and those guys have done that. They're ready to step in right now.
Yeah, that's the great thing about coaching. The next year that team will have its own name and its own little thing to go, so they have something to work towards. So that's what makes it so good. That's what makes it so good. So we, having coaching basketball and football, and then a little fast pitch softball. So, but yeah. Everything's going good. Now, Coach, we're going to call you next week and everything, and I'm going to be asking you about how much it costs and all that good stuff, because I know it's not cheap anymore. So we'll get with that.
That's right.
And then how can they help you guys? We'll talk more about that next week, about how they can donate and help you guys.
No doubt. One step at a time. We get past this hurdle this weekend. We'll be on the road when I talk to you next Monday. So we'll let everybody know. But super proud of where we're at. Go Seahawks. We're ready to play this weekend.
Yes, sir.
Coach, real quick, before we get out of here, give us the game times again.
7 o'clock Friday nights, game 1. Saturday, game 2, starting at 1 o'clock, midday game. If game following, 30 minutes after.
So for everybody listening, that's at South Walton. If you want to get out there and go watch some great baseball this weekend.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate
Thank you.
Coach. Good luck this weekend.
All right. We want to talk a little bit about, I want to talk about Max Fit Sports Nutrition. Jason Kovaleski being here tomorrow does a great job. He knows, and everybody that works for him, they know about nutrition and everything. So don't go over there expecting them to just give you a bunch of stuff to take home. They will let you try it before you buy it, but they will be sensitive to your needs, and they know what you need. So no matter if you have a boy or girl athlete, be sure and get by and see them. I know a couple of football teams in town use them to help all their players. So get out there and see Jason Kovaleski and everybody there. And also, Jay Michaels today, I think, is red beans and rice, so it could be terror for people who follow me. But anyway, get out there and enjoy it. So we'll be glad to talk to you people. Just give us a call, 215-6290, anytime you want to talk. And Mike, where are you?
Yeah,
so
really.
we'll be back, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
It's here. The 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. Plus, more opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 76 and a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, a very light wind and a temperature of 61. About the same tomorrow, around 78 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and quite warm around 80. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory, or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
If you spend any time at all in your yard, you're going to encounter fire ants.
We know they can ruin a party. That's why we're this area's experts at fire ant elimination.
As your certified top choice professional, we will rid your yard of these unwanted invaders. Brock Pest is so sure they'll get rid of fire ants that they offer a 1-year guarantee.
Enjoy your yard fire ant free. We guarantee it. Give us a call for your free consultation.
Brock Lawn and Pest Control. Our family protecting yours since 1968.
Now, it's time for your Atlanta Braves morning update. Presented by Tidal Wave Auto Spa. Get clean car happy at any of the 250-plus Tidal Wave Auto Spa locations today.
Braves top the Rockies and sweep the set. I'm Barrett Salee, and this is your Braves Radio Network morning update.
Tidal Wave Auto Spa is the official car wash of the Atlanta Braves and your go-to car wash destination all season long. Visit TidalWaveAutoSpa.com to find a location nearest you.
The bats were popping in the Mile High City as the Braves topped the Rockies 11-6 in Game 3 of the three-game set. It's their second sweep of the season, and the offense came from a lot of different places. Jonah Heim and Jorge Mateo, they go back-to-back in the second. Jorge Mateo, 2 RBIs, but how about Jonah Heim? 5 RBIs on the day. Eli White, 2 for 4 as well. 7 Braves players had RBIs on the afternoon. It is on to Seattle. Braves and Mariners coming up 3-game set in the Pacific Northwest starting tonight. Logan Gilbert going for the Mariners. J.R. Ritchie gets the start in his hometown. The rookie 1-0, a 2.92 ERA, 6 walks, and 11 strikeouts. For leadoff show, 8:25 and first pitch between the Braves and Mariners, 9:40 p.m. from T-Mobile Park in Seattle. We have it covered on the Braves Radio Network.
It's the Coach James Hale Show. Live and local from the J. Michaels Studio.
A lot more excitement is yet to come.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Be sure to call at 8:15, the number 10 caller, and you will win a gift card to the greatest restaurant downtown. They still cook the greatest steaks for Rucci. So, and just like saying Beetlejuice too many times, Mike, how you doing?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I was dancing with my darling. When Ben Manley stole my darling away. I told him find another. That's my mother.
You didn't know that all the Tennessee crew would be here this morning, did you?
I did not. I was actually calling up to congratulate Coach Hale on sweeping Vanderbilt in baseball and the fact that the Crimson Tide's going to host the softball tournament. I love softball.
Yes, sir.
But I just get tired of hearing Fast Car for Walkup songs and Betty Davis eyes. Other than that, it's okay. And I love listening to you talk about Issa Torres because she is special over at FSU. But this Tuesday, I am going to Hawkins Field to witness Vanderbilt hopefully beat Louisville. Sorry about that, the man in the booth. But that's one of the most. It's going to be one of the more important midweek games. You know, a lot of midweek games I don't care about. I mean, you know, Bethune-Cookman beats Florida. I said Stetson a couple weeks ago, and Brian corrected me. It was Jacksonville. It's like, okay, whatever. Maybe Waters will beat them. Yeah, thank you, Brian. But seriously, what do you think about that? I know you're really up on baseball, Brian, being the MSU guy.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about Vandy? Vandy, as they're on the cusp of not going to the big tournament.
Yeah, it's a weird one. College baseball used to be like this, where you'd have those kind of years because you had to thread the needle in your recruiting. You had to recruit great players, but not so great that they were drafted, right? And nowadays, I mean, unless you're first round, you're pretty much going college. And even some
you make more money than
that's right.
And bus from Rome, Georgia, to some
You're in a better development system. Yeah. You're playing high level baseball. In fact, a lot of the major league teams prefer the college model in a way because they ain't got to pay you during that time. But yeah, I mean, every now and then, I mean, look at LSU. LSU's worse off than Vandy this year. I mean, it's just sometimes you're going to have that year where a group doesn't gel or your pitchers just I'm not sure what their injury situation is, but from what I've watched of Vandy, they're just kind of missing that edge this year. And every now and then
their injury situation is grave, if I may interrupt. They lost 3 left-handed pitchers to begin the year, and then lost 3 right-handed pitchers, and one of them's coming back.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, my Vandy fan buddy who's going to the game with me, he actually said, "Did you notice when you started pulling for Vandy's when they started losing?" I said, "Well, if I had that much power, the Yankees would be 0-162." But anyway, I am excited about getting out, and because the weather's good and everything. And I'm sorry, I'll bring it back to one of your sponsors there. Man, when you say mole crickets, it just drives me crazy. I can't stand those animals. So go out and get them. But anyway,
I'll tell you how active they are right now. Yesterday afternoon, I'm cleaning the boat, and I looked at my son as he's helping me, and I said, "Tristan, look at here." And he goes, "What?" And he goes, "It's one of these mole crickets. It's in the boat." So they're flying around here at night and getting into everything.
Yeah. I want to say one thing, Coach Manley. I gave an incomplete story about your neighborhood in Nashville. And while you've been campaigning, I said that a 2-year-old boy was found naked running down Dickerson Road, and I forgot to say that it was like 2:45 in the morning.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, it's terrible, but his parents discovered it at 6 o'clock when they woke up, and they called the police, and they said, "Yeah, we know where he is." He was saved by some ladies working at an all-night laundromat.
Oh, my gosh.
But here's the recent crime thing from across the river, on my side of the river. Last night, there was a big shootout at a disco, and this is sad. The guy who was the shooter was wearing an orange hat, an orange scarf, an orange shirt, and on white cream pants, and I am very concerned that he may be an integral part of Tennessee's football team.
Oh, no,
man.
No.
Who knows? Anyway, it all sorted out, and I got one last thing to say about high school sports down there. Make the privates go separate. And here's another thing. We're just playing our regionals right now. Go a little longer into the year. And, won't wear the arms out and all that. I mean, there's simple solutions, Coach, but sometimes the easiest thing is very hard to do.
Yeah,
anyway, good luck with your campaigns, plural.
Okay.
I'll talk to y'all later.
I have a question for
Go
you.
Vols.
You remember the Dixon Road Trailer Park where the Fargo brothers used to practice wrestling in the backyard out there?
Oh man, I'm telling you, you know where Lucille Street is?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, well, I had a cousin who used to smoke crack with a pimp over there. I'm sorry, but I mean, I love Jackie Fargo. I played in golf tournaments with him out at McCabe.
So
he wasn't very good. I'll talk to you later.
All right, take care,
Bye-bye.
buddy. All right, listen. Also, get out there today too at Beef O'Brady's over there in Lynn Haven, because they have. It's not their special, but you know what? Whatever they fix for you is going to be great. It's just like going to Cheers. Everybody knows your name, and they smile. What great service. And Pat Perno is a great commissioner over there. And so get out there and feed your people, because if you need it catered, he can do it. Also, if you're right there, be sure and go down to Adamson Fine Jewelry. They will make it. They will take care of it. They will repair it. Whatever they need to do, get out there and see those people. So, I want you to know that all of our sponsors, you need to go make sure you go by. They always have something for you. And J. Michaels, we always talk about them. And also, if you need air conditioning or heating, you don't know what you're going to need in Florida. So,
yeah, that's the old saying. If you don't like the weather, wait an hour.
That's right. Stevenson will get out there and take care of you. So, make sure that. And I know that Jason Kowaleski did it for his house and his business, and Dr. Mitchell did that. So get out there, and they will take care of you and everything. So make sure that you go and see these people. Talk a bit about your little, I know that's not one of our sponsors, but you got a little car dealership going on there, don't you?
Oh, PCB Hobby. Well, they are a station sponsor, so
go.
it's nothing bad about that. Just Hale will probably complain and want a little cut. But
well, he's not here.
Exactly. You got to show up, But no, I mean, we're over there, 11939 Panama City Beach Parkway next to Florida Linen. So sports cards, TCGs, which is like Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and all. Comic books, which this Saturday was free comic book day. Had a lot of people in for that. And then coins and bullion. So a lot of fun going on down there. A lot of cool stuff when you're in the world of collectibles. I mean, Patrick knows, it's neat stuff.
Here's one of the funniest things. My son wants to go to a card show in Pensacola that my wife's cousin is putting on.
Mm-hmm.
So we drive over there. We do a bunch of stuff. We end up at the card show. My son's going to all these different booths, looking around, and I'm watching a basketball game or a football game or something that was on TV, and all of a sudden I hear a voice. And I turn around. This is a true story. I turn around and I go, which one of y'all's on the Coach Hale show?
Yeah.
Just like that. And Brian goes, oh, that's me. And I'm like, I'm Patrick.
Yeah,
and he goes, all of a sudden he goes, you're Turf Pro.
Yeah, that was the first time we had actually met in person. But yeah, it was funny.
It was just wild.
It was. And we actually, just real quick, we do have a second store in Orlando that's been open a little over a month now. We were really excited about the whole Magic thing, but then they choked, so whatever.
You could have done that. So listen, I may not make it to J. Michael's Day, but I am going to make it to Peppers. I'm not sure which one. The one right here on the Back Beach Parkway, right there where the old Friday's building used to be. They fixed that up. Specials on Monday, you get 10% off for all the military people. So, but you can go there. You can go there more than just Monday. But
tomorrow's the big day.
Yeah, tomorrow. Yes, right. But today is let the 4th be with you. So anyway, but also the one in town. That's the one I'm going to go to, and I've always gone to that one. What a great place to go! And man, their margaritas.
The fajita burritos, good.
Yep, and the margaritas, they come in look like a gallon bucket, but they are huge. So that's a 3-straw drink right there. So all your friends can do it. So get out there and enjoy it.
I don't know what those look like.
And so yeah, me either, because they're so tall I can't see over the top. I have to get one of those extension bendy straws, so I go out there and see that. So get out there and take care of all of our people. And at 8:15 we'll be announcing to call in for a Ferrucci's gift card. What a great place that is. Matt and Minta Harbison, they run that. And man, Matt still cooks the best steak in town. Whether it's you can get Italian food, they'd have all kinds of stuff. Make your own pizza, that's fantastic there too. So get out there and enjoy that, and we'll see you in about 2.5 to 3 minutes. Is that right, James? 104.3 ESPN.
Grab your coat.
Northway, Florida.
Are you tired of little radio stations with little signals that drop off at the edge of town?
He did say.
Well, bless their hearts. This is the most powerful sports signal in the Panhandle. You've found the Sports Talk Monster. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
Are you feeling tired, weak, or maybe you feel old and cranky? If so, I have the answer. It's Max Fit Sports Nutrition with 2 locations, 23rd Street in the Coronado Plaza and in Pier Park North on Back Beach Road. Max Fit Sports Nutrition has nutritional products and professional dietary plans to get you moving in the right direction. So get off that couch and get to Max Fit Sports Nutrition now. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, where you can try it before you buy it.
Operation Spay Bay Vaccine Clinic in Fountain, Florida, coming up May 16th. Yes, at 17822 Center Drive, Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay will be having a vaccination clinic on May 16th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Free rabies vaccines with $20 exam going to be in your area, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on May the 16th in Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay. Get them fixed today.
He doesn't try on clothes at the department stores. He just rips stuff off the hanger and lives with the consequences for years.
It's classy, it's intriguing.
He's sexy, sassy, and full of spunk.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
What song is this? Oh.
We just didn't hear it that much last year.
No, we didn't.
This is new.
Florida State,
Florida State, Florida State.
Woo! F-L-O-R-I-D-A-S-T-A-T-E. Florida State, Florida State, Florida State.
Woo! See, I went to school at Mississippi State. I can't spell, but I can do the woo.
That's the only way I knew how to spell
the state part.
I can do that.
If I listen to that song and listen to them spell it out, that's the only way I can spell Florida State. That's how I learned. That's called the old rote method for all you old teachers out there.
They taught us what was the crooked letter I.
Yeah.
Come back.
How can you spell Mississippi without any eyes? You have to close your eyes and spell it.
Hey, true story. My son's in elementary school. He's struggling with math. He loves Florida State. He loves going to the football games. So I'm sitting there, and he's doing addition and multiplication and stuff, and I said, how many points is a touchdown? How many points is the extra point? Mm-hmm. How many points is that? I said, and I'm like, so if Florida State scores 3 touchdowns and kicks a field goal, what's the score? And he's like, 24. And I'm like, see, you know how to do multiplication. And then all of a sudden, the light bulb's clicking. He's going, oh, wow. And then he's doing it with basketball, and I'm like, that's the easiest way to teach at least a boy.
Coach Bowden, he used to call everybody boy, and so you had to. If you didn't know that, you'd be a little upset sometimes. But he was hilarious, and I know I told the story before, but when they were recruiting Jared Moon, I know Mickey Andrews put him up to this, but anyway, he gets up there and they're in the room up there where everybody signs and does all this stuff and everything. So he says, y'all got to have Coach Manley up here. So they run down there to the gym and say, Coach Bowden wants you up there. So I'll go up there thinking I'm real important. And he goes, Coach, stand right here because I don't want to be the shortest guy in this photo. So he got me right there. I know Mickey put him up to it, but he got me good. So, but he was a great guy. I tell you what, so he came to we used to have FCA meetings. We had chariot races where they would put him on a blanket and run around the gym, and that sort of thing. So he would be there and everything for FCA. So
I only met Coach Bowden one time. Ironically, it was at the old Ombre golf course here.
All right.
My dad and I were so my brother's a huge Florida State fan. My brother didn't come over. My dad and I were playing golf, and so I was in, I was the son. I had to take care of the bill, so I went in there and paid. And I think it was the only time in my life I've ever picked up the bill for us. But I come walking out, and there's my dad just talking to Bobby Bowden like they're best friends. I'm like, Coach.
Yeah.
So
he does.
He was great. Oh, God.
That's the way
great.
He did,
Yeah.
So we'll talk a little bit about their softball team. If you have not watched them, they are doing really well. So it's hard to break in this softball with all these teams winning. So they're still ranked number 10 right now. But they swept Boston College this weekend 10-0, 8-0, 8-0. They pitched a no-hitter on Friday. Francis did, and they were 8-0 on Saturday and 8-0 on Sunday. Those were one-hitters, and so they only walked one person in 3 games, and so nobody on Boston College got past first base.
Wasn't that her third no-hitter?
That was her third. That was actually her 4th of her career, but 3rd this year.
Yeah, just in one season though, 3 no-hitters.
I know it.
Nuts.
So yep, and now they are the regular season champs in the ACC. They're 21-3. They lost to Stanford, just like the baseball team. But they play. They're 46-8, and they will play. They're the number 1 seed. They will play Thursday, the second day, the winner of number 8 ranked in the ACC, Notre Dame versus number 9 Georgia Tech. If Stanford wins, then on Friday they'll play Stanford, the only team that's beat them in the ACC. So that'll be something going on. And Isa Torres still hitting really well. She's batting about 550 right now. She still has not missed 159 chances in the infield. She has not made one error this year. She could end up with a fielding percentage of 1,000.
Jeez.
So if she's not the player of the year, I don't know what you do. So the only thing that bothers me is the girl in Oklahoma is hitting the most home runs in 1 year. She's passed, I think she made 37 now. So we'll see what goes on with that. Baseball, they were able to sweep Pitt, and they are right now they're 8-5. They won 8-5, 10-1, 6-4. They are 15-9 in the ACC. That's number 4 in the ACC, and they're 33-14 overall. They are ranked number 14 in the nation, and they will host Jacksonville Tuesday, 5 p.m. on Cinco de Mayo Day. So I'm sure if you were over there, there's going to be a lot of things happening there. At 5 o'clock, the ACC Extra Network. So get out there. And the FSU beach volleyball team, they made it to the Final Four. They were ranked 5th in the nation. They were 36-2, and they lost to Stanford 3-1. And Stanford played for the championship, and they lost 3-0 to UCLA, who is their 3rd championship in their career. So congratulations to the beach volleyball team. Track and field team, they were going to be going to the ACC championships on the 14th through the 16th at Louisville. We still have the fastest young lady in the 100-meter and the 60-meter. So she'll get out there and do that. And then in football, we'll carry that. I hate to even bring this up, but anyway, football is going on. We are trying to, we've improved we've moved up from 33 to 26 in the 27 draft, 27 recruiting season. With these 5 people, we have improved our standing with these 5 people. 4-star safety Tashawn Poole, who's 6'2", 185 out of Macon, Georgia. And 4-star wide receiver Sean Green. He is 5'10", 160 pounds out of Kingsland, Georgia. And 4-star wide receiver Jabari Watkins, 6'2", 185 pounds out of Thomasville Central, which is in Georgia, right across the street from Tallahassee, because it is basically where they stay. And then we have a 3-star defensive lineman, Jason Lewis, 6'4", 260 pounds out of Kissimmee, or some people say Kissimmee, Florida. So get out there and be careful where you say that.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, and a 4-star inside offensive lineman, Jatari Williams, 6'5", 320 pounds out of Phoenix City, the Red Devils, Alabama. So those are the 5 that we've improved our standings with. We're competing with some other people there in the ACC and one SEC team. So get out there and watch that. I still don't understand the proprieties of what we do by not visiting the booster clubs. Whether you play golf or not, I know Jimbo Fisher didn't play golf, but he would still go, and they would have golf tournaments, and then not to have a spring game. So I'm not sure. How does that affect them, Patrick? You're around those guys a lot.
What, the kids, the football players? They could care less.
Really? All right, well, good.
I mean, most of them are busy doing their own things. I know they do a lot of fishing. They travel some, especially in the off season. They're doing a lot of stuff. The coaches, it's almost, I guess it's like a break for them. They're not around the coaches 24/7 like they are when the season's in and practices and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I know June is a big. They have clinics to bring those kids in for those.
Yeah, and they do special days. I know at Florida State they'll have where boosters can come over there and meet players, and they do signing stuff where you get a lot of that. Now, the coolest thing that I've seen here in the last couple of weeks coming out of Florida State was one of the award things where Ethan Pritchard. I don't know if y'all saw that. He was walking with a walker across the stage.
Yes,
he was the kid who got shot after the Alabama game, and lucky to have lived, much less be able to have some semblance of walking.
Absolutely. You know, I just read where, and I know that the Big Ten boys will talk about this tomorrow, but the Big Ten just divided the money. They got like $78.5 million to every school. So hopefully the ACC can keep up with them, but I think we'll be about $30 million behind.
Or more.
Or more, yeah. So,
well, and the ACC is going to be interesting because Clemson and Florida State are going to get the lion's share of it. So how the other schools are going to get divvied out, it's actually based on a percentage. So whatever that revenue is, I think it's Florida State and Clemson get like 35 or 40% of that. And then the rest is divided out not at an equal share amongst the other schools.
I think it's where you showed up in the ACC, but Miami would have a big argument on that.
That's a prearranged deal where they voted on it in the lawsuit. but I think it has to do with the amount of viewers that watched the games.
Yeah, those are the two big ones. Even though Florida State is not winning, they still draw a lot of people.
It's hard because this might be the only socialist/communist bone in my body as it refers to these conferences. Because to me, because there's so much manipulation that can happen. Look, there are certainly schools that are more prominent than others. But, if you say, well, you base it on viewership, then you can say, well, you put us in prime time and not this. And our schedule doesn't have the marquee matchups like whatever. I've always thought with all these conferences and things like that a payout that's based on a payment to the conference should be distributed evenly. And it feels like bile coming out of my mouth saying that, but I do. And it's, it's tough because I do understand that Alabama will draw more revenue to the SEC than Vanderbilt will. But we're all in the conference. And
somebody's got to make grades.
Exactly. We got to keep the GPA up, So. But I do think that, and I've always struggled with that. And the more and more as we're going out and trying to secure people coming in, it's going to change even more. Like Texas and Oklahoma don't get the same share payout because they were coming in newer and this, that, or the other. I know that's the case with the ACC. Miami worked their deal coming in from the Big East, so whatever. So it's going to be difficult with that. I just don't – there's just something about that just has never sat right with me. If you're a member of a conference, I think that payout should be equal.
One of the things, we can talk about it later. We're coming up on a break, but put this thought in your heads. One of the most interesting rules that we haven't talked about with the transfer portal is the graduation rate that the NCAA enforces on each school. Mm-hmm. And how that's going to be affected as time goes on with these kids transferring all the time, because you got to maintain a certain percentage of graduation, or you get scholarship reductions.
Right.
Or you can't play.
Yeah, Florida State was up against that. That was the best thing Taggart did there.
That's right.
Was he turned that around.
He turned that around. They were, as great a coach as Jimbo is, whether they went to class or not was not one of his concerns. So anyway,
we can talk about that later and how that can affect.
That's interesting. A
couple of our great sponsors. We'll talk about Steve's Bike Shop right across the street from Sam's. I'll tell you what, they can. All the new ones, the electric bikes, they can build them, they can repair them, and they can fix anything if it goes wrong with them. What a crackerjack staff he's got, and they work on those motors. I tell you what, when those things go down, it's kind of like the batteries going down in a Tesla. So you better make sure that somebody can work on those. Thanks for him for that. And also now today, only today, we will have beans and rice at J. Michael's. Mm-hmm. So actually you can call it any day, but this is their special day, so get out there and enjoy that. And also we want to make sure you go out to Beef O'Brady's. And also this Florida State Update was brought to you by Newbies, all the great Newbies. Charlotte and John do a great job. And my favorite is the Blue Building over on Bayview. But get out there, had a great bike week and everything. We'll be right back, 104.3 ESPN, Northwest Florida.
Wake up with ESPN Northwest Florida. The Coach James Hale Show drags you out of bed weekdays 7 to 9.
It weighed 827 pounds.
And for the ride home, the fastest 2 hours on radio. The Sports Blitz with Paul Wilson.
You better hope you're ready.
Morning drive and the afternoon commute are live and local on the Gulf Coast. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 76 and a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, a very light wind and a temperature of 61. About the same tomorrow, around 78 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and quite warm around 80. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Are you looking for a place to take a leak? Do you have a truck, tractor, or other hydraulic equipment leaking or not performing as it should? At Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, we can get you back to work. Do you have a busted or leaking hose? Hydraulic cylinder or pump needing repair? If competitive pricing and a quick turnaround are what matter to your business, come see us at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, or you can give us a call at 850-326-3000. Reliable Hydraulic Solutions, 6840 Highway 77 in Southport, the best place in town to take a leak.
He has a really low passenger rating on Uber. He punched a magician and started a petition to remove the penny from circulation.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michaels studio.
Is he sane? I have no idea.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Glenn's playing his air guitar.
Hey, there you go. I don't want to say what kind of guitar that was. But we want to thank newbies again for the Florida State update. I tell you what, out at the mothership and everything, I remember the one on the curb when I was in the military. That's the first one I got chunked out of. So anyway, but what a great place, all the best music, and they really do help the community. They give back, and so we appreciate them very much. So I'm talk a little bit about some high school sports. I want to give some scores in case you hasn't noticed what happened this weekend. So Mosley went over to Niceville yesterday and had to play a doubleheader, and they got beat yesterday. So Mosley was beaten 2-1 in the playoff series, and so Niceville will be hosting Lincoln this coming weekend on Friday. And in 4A, Choctaw was 2-1 in the series over St. Augustine. So Clay will be coming over to Choctaw on Friday also. We already talked to Coach Borswick from South Walton. I'm slaughtering the crap out of it, but anyway. And then in the rural, Chipley was 2-0 versus Northview, and Holmes County was 2-0 versus Jay. So Holmes County will host Chipley on Friday. And then Cottondale 2-0 over Sneeds in the series, and Port St. Joe 2-0 over Bluntstown. So Cottondale will host Port St. Joe in the rural on Friday, starting Friday. Now in softball, the girls are just starting, so this will be the first round, the quarterfinals. So Fleming Island is at Niceville. That will be the only round played on Thursday. And then Gulf Breeze is at Ponte Vedra on Thursday, and then Friday, and then Milton is at Childs. That's on Friday. 4A, Escambia is at Columbia Lake City. That's on Friday. Arnold's at all the way over to Clay. That's a long way, Green Cove Springs. Mm-hmm. They will play that on Friday. Fort Walton Beach will host St. Augustine in softball. And in 3A, South Walton will be at West Florida. And in 2A, FSU will be at North Bay Haven. That's on Thursday. Get out there and see that one. That'd be a big game at North Bay Haven. And Bowles is at Bozeman, so that'll be a big game too. So if you want to go see that one, that's also on Thursday. And in the rural, these are all on Tuesday. The first is on Tuesday. Holmes County is at Northview. That's on Tuesday. Jay's at Chipley Thursday. And Cottondale's at Liberty County on Thursday. And Weewa is at Port St. Joe. That's the Gulf County Slugouts. So get out there and watch all those. And those will be some great softball games. So softball's a little bit faster than baseball. In baseball, you can usually play a deck of cards between pitches, but, at least in softball now, not in high school yet, but in college, they have the 20-second pitch rule. So get out there and see your favorite team, and we hope everything's going okay. Let's delve a little bit into that before we go to the Alabama update. A little bit more about the scholarships and how many people have to graduate and things like that. So I do want to make sure that Mark McLeod told me that red shirt in baseball, if you play one inning or one pitch, your red shirt is burned.
Yeah.
Track, step on the track, make a false start, you're out. That's your year.
I mean, as it pertains to red shirt, I've always been in favor of just the 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Not 5 gets you 4, just 5.
All right.
If you're fortunate and you're healthy and you get to play 5 years, good for you. But the problem started again from good intentions, as it quite often does. Is, oh well, that's unfortunate. He had this injury, so we'll give him a waiver. And then went, well, this guy had 2 of them, so we give him another one. That's how you end up with 26-year-olds playing their 9th year of college football and things like that. So, I would prefer to see the redshirt rule go away completely. Because right now it's being used to manipulate. College football programs are in chaos with, who to play late in the year. I know Auburn had to change some things around going to the Alabama game to preserve a shirt, and then guys were using it to quit on the team after 3 games, so they didn't burn a shirt on the 4th game. So I'd like to see them get rid of the shirt rule altogether. But then this transfer thing is even crazier as it relates to graduation.
So who keeps up with what? Are both schools responsible?
That's what I'm trying to find.
All 6 schools now?
Yeah, all 6 schools.
Like, who gets credit if DJ graduates? Like every school in the country? Because he's played for or TJ Finley, I mean, TJ, I legitimately think he's on his 5th school.
Wow.
Yeah, he is. He's at least, if not on his 6th school, because I think there was one where he showed up in the spring and then left in like the summer portal or whatever it was. I mean, he's moved and moved and moved and moved. Don't you ask, don't you go. We are going everywhere.
Wow. Yeah. Where is it?
He's going to single-handedly make sure that every Division I team in the country is good for graduation.
If he graduates.
Yeah, if he graduates, But, I mean, I don't know. I don't know how you tie it. I mean, we were talking a little bit in the break. It's got to be some level of percentage deal, and I don't know if it is based on how long you were there per se or anything like that. I don't know.
So what I'm reading here is there's a 40, 60, 80 rule. So it's 40% of your degree completion by the 3rd year, 60% by your 4th year, and 80% by your 5th year. I don't know that there is a graduation one anymore. There used to be one, I know. Yeah. The problem is if you're transferring so much, how are you going to get 40% of your degree done? Because as anybody that has been to college that switch schools at some point, that all of your classes do not transfer.
You never get ahead.
Well, they don't transfer to the other school.
That's
right. Some on quarters and some's on semester.
Well, most of that's been changed now. I think it's all to a quarter system almost across the board. But from what I remember, and it may have changed, if you took a history class, so to speak, but it was not offered at the next school, that credit did not transfer. It had to be some type of light to transfer in.
Correct.
So you could lose credits.
That was kind of the rule of thumb because, I mean, even back then I knew some transfer people, not all of them sports related, but it was like you never got ahead. Like it never worked in your favor. Like if you were good, everything you did transferred over and you were fine. But in most cases, you'd lose a class or 2 class or so. At that point, we were on semesters, so semester hours or whatever. But you never really got ahead with it with transferring. But we make the jokes. I think I've told this on the radio before. Dante Jones, who was on our Final Four run, 1996 Mississippi State, never set foot on the campus after he flew back either. But Dante famously passed like 27 hours in one summer session, which, of course, those are 6 hours, 6-week sessions, to get eligible. So where there's a will, there's a way if you're good enough. But
well, if you have a good guidance people or you have a good thing, they can change the number of the course and
it's the old Charles Barkley line where they said, well, where else were you looking to go? He's like, I averaged 20 and 15. I was going to college.
One of the things it says here is the context is the credits have to be degree applicable. It can't be electives.
Okay.
And then a standard degree is 120 credits.
Yeah.
So by the third year, you got to have 48. The fourth year, you got to have 72. And by the fifth year, 96 in there. But it's not telling me anything on
business psychology, American studies. I mean,
general safety methods. One of the interesting things now
that was a real course,
completely different than when me and Brian were in school. Of course, Glenn, I don't did they have college back then?
We had chisels and.
I was gonna say, how many tablets were there?
But one of the interesting things is like Brian's got his laptop over here. That's how most of the kids take their class.
Yeah.
And I've known some players in the off season where they're enrolled at a university, but they're not even in that city.
Yeah,
they're somewhere else, and they're taking their classes online, just like you can do now. You can go get a secondary degree from one of these online colleges.
It's actually how I finished college, was an online course.
Right. So it's interesting. Some guys take it while they're driving their cars.
Okay. Yeah. That's true.
Don't do that.
Well, if you're in the back seat, just talk about Thrive Alternative Medicine. Yeah. So Dr. McLaughlin is not here today, but you know what? If you are having pain from different operations or different things, psychosis things, they can take care of you. They have Suzanne Clark that can take care of. She's a counselor on mental health. Get out there and see them. They're located right there by the Cox Pool building, so get out there. They do not have anything on there. They give you the card so you can buy it. So we'll be back with Alabama 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Keep the game going with ESPN Northwest Florida. Just because you get out of the car doesn't mean the Sports Talk and Live play-by-play have to end. Just say, "Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida." From Michigan Avenue to the man cave, from the car to the kitchen, we've got you covered. Keep the game going. Hey Alexa, open ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 76 and a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, a very light wind and a temperature of 61. About the same tomorrow, around 78 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and quite warm around 80. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Ready to play? Welcome to DuPlay, your premier indoor destination for family fitness and total fun. DuPlay is designed for fun, movement, and skill building for all ages. Kids can explore our active playgrounds, while athletes and teams can utilize our turf fields, indoor soccer, batting cages, full basketball, and volleyball courts. With open play, training space, and structured activities, it's all inclusive at the new DuPlay in Panama City. Take a look now at DuPlayOnline.com. That's DuPlayOnline.com.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WVLQ Port St. Joe. ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Mother's Day, celebrate the love that never fades with a gift that lasts forever. At Coin and Bullion Reserve's Fine Jewelry, find Mother's Day jewelry made to honor every child, every chapter, every memory. From timeless classics to special pieces that show love. Jewelry that captures the unique bond between mother and child. Make her Mother's Day unforgettable at Coin and Bullion Reserve's Fine Jewelry, your diamond headquarters for over 50 years.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels Studio.
Boss, I got good news and bad news. What's the bad news? Your hat's on fire.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Well, we're back.
Stand up, Glenn.
No.
Hands over your heart.
I will say, roll tide.
That a boy.
I will say that, just for Coach Hale.
You were recording on that, right, James?
Hey, Alabama. That's one thing you learn about when you're Auburn. You have to learn your enemy's ways.
Yes.
So anyway, get out there.
The Auburn game might be the last time we heard this song. Those last two games. Well, Oklahoma. But yeah, those other two.
They
games
always
were a little
play
rough.
it at the start of the game.
Well,
That's
you know
right.
what's really people really don't understand. If you're not from Alabama, you have to declare.
Oh, yeah, that's the final exam of kindergarten.
Yeah.
You don't move on.
That's right. And so, you know, nothing against like Troy and North Alabama and all that, but, you know, if you want to do something like a crime, do it on the day that the Iron Bowl is played because everybody's watching. There's not a police officer out.
That's what I often say is, obviously, I grew up in the state, you know, Mobile, and people always say, you know, who's your college football team? I said, well, I graduated from Mississippi State, but I grew up an Alabama fan.
Well,
and it's true. I mean, it pulls every bit as hard.
Right. And I went to Middle Tennessee, but I was born in Opelika, so guess what?
That's right.
What's funny is I know people that move there, and they're like, so who's your college football team? And they go, Ohio State. And they're like, no, between Auburn and Alabama.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like they don't even register that.
I know.
Between these two teams.
Yeah. No, it's 100% true, and it's. You know, the one thing I always said, and this is I always catch, you know, grief for my dislike of Tennessee, which is genuine. But, you know, the Tennessee thing is like just pure hatred. Like the Auburn thing, like it's intense, but it's with your buddies. That's about bragging rights, standing over them, all like that. But I mean, pure hatred.
Typically,
Tennessee.
unless you're in the far North Alabama, you're not eating Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner with the opposite.
Yeah,
with
that's
Tennessee.
right. That's
you
right.
are with it. If you're Alabama, you're eating it with an Auburn person. If you're
That's
Auburn,
right.
you're eating it with an Alabama person.
Yeah.
So, you know, they did fight a civil war.
Yeah.
And there's jokes that, you know, they split the state in half and see which one won. But
well, we just ran out of time. We didn't run out of.
That's it.
But you know, as far as I know, nobody from Auburn's gone up and sacrificed all the trees in Alabama.
Well, there aren't any trees.
Yeah, well,
You know,
it's been all cut down.
You know what, though? That was one of the very few things I think that actually brought the fans together.
I know.
I don't know an Alabama fan who thought that was a good idea. Tornado, too.
Yeah, the tornado brought everybody
right.
a trip. So, but anyway,
Absolutely.
there's a love-hate thing there, I guess.
There is. We love to hate. So,
there's a lot of people that were born one side that married the other.
Yeah. That's true.
Now, I don't know many Alabama or Tennessee fans that married the other.
Yeah. You know what's funny, though?
Tennessee will marry Georgia.
And it always, the in-state rivalries almost always come down to some level of, whether it's socioeconomic or whatever, there's some level of big brother, little brother, you know, the oppressed smaller school versus the big in-state that always gets all the, you know, Mississippi's that way, Alabama is seen that way, all like this. It's always built on that, which just adds that much more flavor to it. You know, it's the law and all of those guys versus the farmers is the easy way to get it down.
I got a friend that moved to Alabama. He was in the military. He gets there and he chose which school he chose in the state of Alabama based on this other guy that was in the same unit that he could not stand. That guy likes them, I like the other.
There you go.
That's exactly what he said.
Well, let's go into some stuff. I do want to thank Steverson Air Conditioning.
Absolutely.
Their sponsor, the Alabama Update, every single day here on the Coach James Hale Show. Let's start with baseball because Alabama, Mike, well, he's more of a Tennessee guy, but Alabama swept Vanderbilt this weekend.
Wow.
Alabama ranked number 24 in the country. Of course, that puts you about 10th in the SEC, but 32-16 now in the season, 13-11 in the conference. They beat Vandy 5-4 on that ever-important Friday night game. If you know anything about SEC baseball series, that Friday night game is key because that kind of sets the momentum for everything going forward. They backed that up with a 5-0 victory on Saturday and then closed out the sweep with an 8-5 win on Sunday. Tuesday night, tomorrow night, they head down to Troy to play a little midweek in-state battle.
That's not going to be easy.
No, it's not. And I'll be honest with you, I don't mind I don't mind the in-state parts, and I don't mind the midweek games. I think when you get into May, I don't think there should be any more midweek games.
Right, yeah.
Because you're already dealing with, the closing couple of weekends of SEC play. Then you have the SEC tournament. Then you've got potentially a regional, then potentially a super regional. You're really putting that much more on your arms. I just don't like it. I'm fine with it up until May. At May, I think we should do away with the midweek games.
I think they almost play too many games in baseball.
I agree. I 100% agree, especially with how compressed the schedule gets at the end of the year. That's why you got to carry 15 pitchers. For God's sake. And honestly, it's why the SEC tournament hasn't been seen as that important, because you don't want to use up all your arms. It's crazy, especially when we expect anywhere from 11 to 13 teams are going to make regionals for the SEC. I think it was 13 last year. I think it's probably going to be 12 or 13 this year. But, I just don't like the midweek, although it is fun for, obviously, the Troys and – you can't throw South Alabama. South Alabama's ranked more than or as much as Alabama and Auburn are, but UABs and Troys and schools like that.
So how many games do they play in the average week?
An average week would be 4, because you'll have a Tuesday game and then a weekend series.
Right. So the only thing about the midweek, and to slow it down at the end is a pretty good idea, but they need to find out who can pitch or who can play other positions. So I think that's kind of a
that's why I like it most of the year.
Yeah.
I just, when the schedule starts to get compressed, I would do away with them. But they didn't ask me, so they're going to play Troy tomorrow night. They do go to South Carolina this weekend, which has been one of the teams in the SEC that has really struggled this year. So generally, you would think that'd be a good thing, but it's still the SEC. You're still talking about a team that's won a couple national championships not that long ago. So, and then they will finish the SEC season with Ole Miss coming to Tuscaloosa the following weekend. So, softball tournament is in Lexington, Kentucky. Alabama is ranked number 2. And we'll start that one. They do not yet know who they will face, because that has to be determined in the earlier rounds. But they will play Thursday against either Arkansas, Mississippi State, or host Kentucky. So that will be interesting there. Of course, softball at Alabama, always really good, and no change in that this year. Did want to get this in. So the region's tradition, I think they call it the Pro-Am. Of course, it's a senior tour golf tournament there in Birmingham. What is it, Greystone? I think they play it at. Yeah. So the Pro-Am is a lot of fun. They do 5-man best ball net handicap. So they'll have a lot of celebrities and a lot of the coaches play and things like that. So I thought I'd go through some of the ones here. I will say the winners was Tommy Tuberville, Senator Tuberville, John Daly, Riley Green, and Taylor Hicks from the music world. They shot a 43. That is 29 under par, 43. So somebody had a really bad handicap, or there was a lot of sandbagging going on.
So to give you an idea, the reason why Hugh Freeze didn't last as long at Auburn and Tuberville did, Tuberville probably didn't play a whole lot of golf.
That's right. Yeah. So they won, and they should have, at 43. But some of the other ones, Coach Kalen DeBoer's team, he was with paired up with a professional Ernie Els, great golfer there. They shot a 54, so very good there. Nick Saban was paired up with Vijay Singh, and surprising, I'm actually surprised he was a part of this, because I thought the stink would still be on. Remember Lance Armstrong?
Oh, yeah.
Lance Armstrong played in the tournament. So he was on Nick Saban and Vijay Singh's team. They shot a 58. Not quite as good. Nate Oates, who was on Justin Leonard's team, they shot a 63. Poor them. They were only 9 under. But they were a little bit further back. So Tuberville wins again, I guess. He goes for, 6? They won 6 in a row, I think, or 5 in a row.
Yeah.
So Tuberville wins again over the Alabama coaches. But that was the Region Pro-Am. A couple other little things. This was interesting to me, because you don't see this off of guys who get drafted high in the first round. So Alabama left tackle Caden Proctor was selected 12th in the first round of the NFL draft by the Miami Dolphins. And he was the 3rd tackle off the board. And typically when you think about guys like that, they're pretty locked into their position. But in talking with the Miami crew, they have a starter at left tackle they were pretty content with last year. And there's actually a lot of talk that what they want to do is move Proctor inside to left guard to start to shore up that left side of the line. Now, one of the nice things about Proctor was that he is so agile and athletic to be as big as he is, hence them splitting him out, throwing balls to him, things like that. One of his downsides is his weight fluctuates badly. And so I don't know if they're thinking one of the things there's less pressure on him, maybe if they put him at left guard. Maybe it's just a short-term thing to get him into the league, get him settled. He is still, as high as his ceiling is, he's still considered a bit of a project, whereas Fano and guys like that who went ahead of him were thought to be more established. So it is just rare that you see like a number 12 pick maybe shifting position.
Right.
Although tackle to guard is not insane.
It's not insane, but it's a lot different.
Oh, yeah.
And so, especially at that level. But
didn't he play guard some?
A little bit
yeah.
early on. Now, the one thing where it's good is, when you're going to run counter stuff and you pull those guards, he's extremely agile to get out there in that. So, I mean, that could help them. And they've got some good running backs in Miami. I know Achane, if he can stay healthy, is great. So maybe they're thinking things like that. That one caught me a little bit because, like I said, you see that more out of second, third round guys like that. They may shift
he
them.
may be good enough though that when you put those two guys together on the left side, that makes it pretty solid. But when he goes to McDonald's, the sign changes. Because it goes up. So. I will say this though, Malik Willis, who's going to start the season there, whether he finishes the year as a starter is a whole other topic. But it's bad enough when you got 6-7 guys on the edges you got to see over and throw over. Now you got one more interior. Right.
That's a thing.
But you know what? People don't understand though. If you're a quarterback and you've been, of course, say 5'10" or almost 6 foot tall, where your whole career you've been looking through lanes, and so you really know how to do all that. And only bad thing is I know one time when. Southern Miss was going to come to play FSU, the coach said they practiced throwing the ball like 1-2 throw, 1-2 throw. Mm-hmm. So then when they played FSU, they changed their whole thing. They took one step and everybody put their hands up. So it just kept knocking the pass down. Yeah. They were throwing it early, but they weren't really rushing. Yeah. So he could have stepped back and taken his time. So, but anyway, that was kind of funny. So.
And then the only other thing I saw, and it kind of made me chuckle a little bit. So the Lakers and the Rockets played the first round series in the NBA. Lakers went on to go through. Rockets were just kind of a disaster. But there was a funny moment where LeBron James went down pretty hard down the baseline and was actually helped to his feet by former Alabama standout, and now I think he's got the richest defensive contract in the NFL, Will Anderson, like that. And LeBron was laughing about it, called Will Anderson his fourth child, says he and Bronny are twins, like that, laughing. But the thing I thought was so funny was, of course, LeBron was on the ground, because he always is. And that is my LeBron James update.
There you go. So, that's the one we haven't had in the last 2 days. So but we'll talk about some of our fine sponsors. You don't want to make sure that you go to Stevenson Air Conditioning because, the weather changes every 10 minutes here. So they will take care of you. They won't give you something you don't need. They do everything but windows. So be sure you get out there and see them. So, and starting this break will be the time.
Oh. There we go.
We're going to give something away. I'm not supposed to mention it, but we're going to give something away. So now is the time to call. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Caller 10 wins a $25 gift card in the Ferrucci Feast. Call now. 850-215-6290. 850-215-6290. Who's hungry? Caller 10 wins a $25 gift card in the Ferrucci Feast. Call now. 850-215-6290. 850-215-6290.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The The Sports Blitz.
They don't care about the fans. We're all beating our chests, going to the tailgaters, drinking the Kool-Aid, eating the hot dog, buying the merch, and Alabama. They don't want to lose that because they're the top 4 in like sales for college memorabilia? Yeah. If they lose that, they lose the NIL, period.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 76 and a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, a very light wind and a temperature of 61. About the same tomorrow, around 78 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and quite warm around 80. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Looking to upgrade your truck? It's Blue Diamond Truck Accessories in Panama City. They sell, service, and install it all. Light kits, bed covers, bumpers, winches, lift kits, and any trailer hitch you can imagine. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, just west of Frankfort Avenue on 15th Street. Find Blue Diamond Truck Accessories on Facebook or call 850-914-0265. Blue Diamond Truck Accessories, 850-914-0265.
Operation Spay Bay Vaccine Clinic in Fountain, Florida, coming up May 16th. Yes, at 17822 Center Drive, Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay will be having a vaccination clinic on May 16th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Free rabies vaccines with $20 exam going to be in your area, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. on May the 16th in Fountain, Florida. Operation Spay Bay. Get them fixed today.
Mamma mia. We have another winner in the Ferrucci Feast.
All right, we do have a winner. So who are we talking to here?
Hey, good morning, Coach.
Good morning.
Drew.
Drew, how are you doing today?
Doing all right on a beautiful day.
Good, sir. Listen, you better be glad Coach Hale's not here because he'd want you to take him. So I'm hoping that you get to go with your whoever you would like to take. So congratulations. Have you ever been there before?
Yes, sir. It's awesome.
No, Matt meant to do a great job. Matt still cooks the best steak in town. I don't know how he does it, but he can do it. So, but yeah. So tell us who's your favorite college football team?
Michigan Wolverines.
Take this card away from him, would you? No, I'm just kidding. So do you know Michigan Eddie?
I don't know him, but I listen to him all the time.
I'll tell you what. If you want to see a Michigan fan, when he comes in with his yellow hair, maize hair, and his overalls, unbelievable. So, but yeah, so we're so glad you won. We really appreciate you listening to us. You know, we're just very opinionated, as you can tell. So, especially when Coach Hale gets here. So, but you know, Coach Hale and I actually coached against each other before we got together as buddies. So. Yep. So then we drug Brian in here. Now we drug Patrick in here. So we have a drug problem. We drag people all over the place. So we thank you so much for calling and enjoy your meal. And just tell Matt and Menta you heard it here on ESPN Radio.
I sure will. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Drew. So Drew goes out there. He didn't tell me which day he was going to go. So if you want to show up and share the meal, you're going to have to do the best.
Glenn's just going to hang out on the doorstep.
Yeah, yep. I'm just going to be laying down in front there, like some of the other establishments.
Just be pointing, Drew. No, okay, go ahead. Let's go across the state.
Yeah, War Eagle. We're actually going to go south of this in the south part.
Yeah. So. We'll head out to the plains.
There you go.
Talk a little bit about Auburn. We're going to start with baseball with Auburn as well. Because what a weekend for Auburn baseball. Now, you've kind of had, one of these seasons where A&M, Texas, Mississippi State, and Georgia have kind of separated themselves slightly, but Auburn has been right in behind them, and the only reason why I didn't put Auburn in the top 4 when we talked about them last week was because of the run-in they have. They have A&M, Mississippi State, and Georgia left on the schedule. So Auburn goes on the road to College Station, takes 2 out of 3.
Wow.
From Texas A&M, which is huge. in that series, and did it in convincing fashion Friday, 18-5.
Wow.
7-inning game, run ruled them. Big win there. Got a very tight victory on Saturday, 5-4, and darn near completed the sweep. They were making like a late charge on A&M, but came up just short, 4-3 on Sunday. But Auburn taking a big road victory there in the series against a really good Texas A&M ball club. So big win for Auburn, takes them to 32-14 on the season, 14-10 in the conference. And they also will have a in-state midweek game tomorrow night. They're going to play UAB in Birmingham. So they'll just head up, what's that, 280 there, and go play UAB in Birmingham. And then, as we said, they're heading over to Stark Vegas for the big 3-game set with Mississippi State. And I guarantee you there are going to be a lot of fans there for that.
Absolutely.
One. I mean, you'll be 15K every game for the
Mississippi State. They could be playing Flatbush, Tennessee, and they'll be there.
Well, what else is there to do? No, I'm kidding. But anyway, there is that's a big one. And then Auburn will close out the season the following weekend at home there at Plainsman Park against Georgia. So that's really huge. I think Mississippi State's sitting, I think they're third in the conference or fourth, and Georgia's at the top. So that's going to be something else for Auburn baseball. But they have proven they have really, in fact, Auburn's only issue has been sometimes when they play teams that aren't as good. Maybe their focus drops or whatever. But when they go up against the big boys, they usually turn out. So it'll be interesting for Auburn going down the stretch here. Let's go over to the hard court, if you will. Not basketball, but tennis.
Ooh.
We'll start with the men. Men ranked number 22. They actually won their opening NCAA tournament battle in the round of 64. They beat Santa Clara 4-3. It got a little squirrely there for a minute. There, Auburn got up to a 3-0 lead, and then Santa Clara kind of clawed their way back, and Auburn closed it out. So they moved on to the second round. Unfortunately, they ran into a pretty good squad in Baylor, who knocked them out 4-1 in the round of 32. So men's tennis season has come to an end. Now the ladies happen to be ranked number 1.
Wow.
And they got to host their regional. They had a good Miami team that came in, and they blanked them 4-0. So they move on. They have not mentioned yet who they will host. I don't know if there was weather that delayed that, or I just didn't see it as of press time. But Auburn will host the Super Regional, and then if they win that, of course, they move on into the NCAA tournament. So congratulations to the Auburn women's tennis team, who is really, really solid, and they did that. Over in the recruiting ranks with football, Auburn did pick up a commitment. What that means nowadays, who knows?
Yeah,
but they picked up a commitment from 2027 wide receiver Brylan Odor. He is from Riverdale, Murfreesboro, up there in Tennessee.
Yeah,
we know that area very well, out on the east side of Nashville. 6'2", 205, also runs track. He runs the 100-meter, 200-meter, and does the high jump. So that's always good for a wide receiver. Separation and can jump. He is listed as a 4-star player. I think he's the number 16 ranked player in Tennessee and the number 51 ranked wide receiver in the 2027 recruiting cycle. So nice commitment there. Won't say pick up yet until, they show up on campus and Pete Golding hasn't called them for a month. Then we know that they're going to be there. But
that's true.
But that's a nice one there. And again, there's a lot of athletes in that Nashville area for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And that'll be a good one to pick up if they can. So
the other thing, too, is I noticed that Gorsh, whatever his name is, he did not play in the golf tournament.
No, Stephen Pearl did. I didn't bring this up. I think their team finished last, unfortunately. but no, I don't think Gorsh did play.
He was out recruiting. But whatever they can do, I don't know if there's a dead spot here now or not.
Yeah.
But this is also the arrest season, so you want to make sure.
Yeah, or, they say, everybody had their eyes on Miami for the Formula One race this weekend, being in the States, and, the running joke would be, well, it's that every weekend in Athens. But,
well, yeah, that's true too. So I think they're going to bring in a driver's ed course there for a graduate course. So we'll see what goes on with that. No offense there, Conrad, but so.
But anyway, I mean, that's kind of what's going on with Auburn. I'm really, I got to say, I mean, going back to it, I am really impressed with their baseball. I mean, they they lost a big player for them in Ike Irish last year, who's first round pick, and you can reload every year, but you got to get it right. And Auburn really did a good job this offseason in what is just a crazy competitive. I mean, if you're looking at the SEC, we talked about it earlier. Vanderbilt's struggling to the point they may not make the big tournament. This is a team that's won national championships and played for other ones in the last 10 years. Right. South Carolina won back-to-back about 15 years ago, and they've been in the mix forever. They're in a down year. I mean, they tried a coaching thing, and it didn't work out. They may not make the big tournament. LSU is struggling to the point they may not make the big tournament. LSU's won 2 of the last 6 national championships themselves.
Skip Bergman there.
Yeah, Missouri is about the one consistently not at the same level baseball program year in, year out in the conference, and they're still like sitting right at 500 overall, not in the conference. Right. But there are no weeks off in SEC play, and for Auburn to be up in that top kind of 4-5, and look, if they run through and get series wins against Mississippi State on the road and then Georgia at home, I mean, they're not only in line to host a regional, I think that's a given. They might be one of the top 8 seeds to where you could host a super.
Right.
And that would be outstanding, because coming in this year, there was a lot of uncertainty over this Auburn squad. So I'm really impressed with them.
Do you think there's more than one team in the SEC that could host a super?
Oh, I think there's definitely.
There's 2 or 3,
I think there's going to be at least 3 in the top 8, assuming we don't completely beat ourselves all up. But I still think there's going to be probably 3 of the top 8 are going to be SEC schools. But you're going to have, you may have 7 hosts, maybe. I don't think we'll quite get 8, but we may very well have 7 regional hosts, which is unbelievable.
Then the next round.
Yeah, then the supers, which, again, now it depends how it plays out. If you have 7 hosts and some of the bigger boys lose, you could have 7 super regional hosts. But as far as top 8 seeds, I think Texas is going to be there. I think Georgia is going to be there. And one of Mississippi State, A&M, Auburn is probably going to be the next one, kind of depending on how the running goes. And then you have several other teams down the line that could end up. And then you're going to have several other look, like I said, there's 11 SEC teams ranked in the top 25. So you're going to have a couple that are just outside of that, too, that are going to be really good number 2s going somewhere and causing havoc in the regionals.
Absolutely, So, Coach, the Howard guy that played in the pros played at Auburn, played first base for Auburn. He was playing football.
Oh, Frank Thomas. Yeah.
Well, he was playing football, and Pat Dye came to him and said, you might want to stick with – he was playing tight ends.
Yeah, that's right.
Might want to stick with baseball. He thanked Coach Dye for making his career. So,
what a player!
We want to thank Pat Perno and Beef O'Brady for sponsoring our Auburn Update. What a great place! Now they have one of the best wings in town. On Wednesday they have their 10 for 10 and a drink. So get out there. Patrick, tell us what's going on over there at the old Turf Pro.
Well, you got the mole cricket season starting to happen. They're showing their ugly little heads, getting ready to do a lot of damage to turf. You got ants that are starting to show up with the warmer weather, despite the cool mornings that we're having. Bugs are trying to get into people's houses. We can take care of all of that for you. We can also do mosquito control. Uncles are a little tough to get rid of.
Yeah, that's right.
You can reach us at Facebook at Turf Pro PC, and then also on our local number at 850-890-5820 before they start doing all that damage.
Okay. We want to thank Steve's Bike Shop. We want to thank Jay Michaels, also Adamson Fine Jewelry, and Max Fit Sports Nutrition. We'll be right back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Knob off. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida has turned up the power.
I'm getting an Archie squad, Captain.
From Port St. Joe to Panama City to Fort Walton Beach, the biggest sports signal in the Panhandle.
If I push it any harder, the whole thing will blow.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Full residential and commercial projects from start to finish. Wheelhouse is ready to help. From the moment you have the thought to build to the moment you step through the front door of your finished project, Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering will walk you through all of your aspirations. Engineering, site plans, live architectural design, construction, 3D rendering, permits, and more. Wheelhouse Consulting and Engineering, 850-896-6597, 850-896-6597, and online at wheelhousedba.com.
With over 4 decades in business, Instant Replay Sports Cards is happy to take your collection to the next level. All new hobby boxes, signed memorabilia and supplies, new and vintage cards, and Pokemon. Buy, sell, and trade. They're an authorized source for Topps, Panini, Upper Deck, and Leaf cards. Instant Replay Sports Cards inside the Stanford Station on 23rd Street next to Academy Sports. Come see the bigger store and the larger inventory, or visit online, instantReplaySportsCards.com.
Ready to join the team? The Jaguars and our stadium partners are hosting a job fair Wednesday, May 20th. We're looking for enthusiastic new faces to serve as ushers, ticket takers, concessionaires, security, and more. Stop by the Prime Osborne Convention Center and apply on May 20th from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Professional dress, a pen, and a smile are all you need. There are 1,000 spots to be filled for the 2026 season, so join us and be a part of the Jaguars game day team.
Now back to the most dangerous radio show in the Gulf Coast. Coach James Hale. He's so dangerous, he doesn't even check his eggs at the grocery store.
Danger's my middle name.
I'm bad to the bone, honey.
2 tickets to the gun show.
We're live from the J. Michaels studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We want to thank all of our lovely sponsors. Get out to Pepper's, 2 great locations, great margaritas, and today is Military Discount Day. So the one on Panama City Parkway, right there where the old Fridays used to be. TGIF, toes go in first. That's what we used to have to tell our football players. But anyway, get out there and see them, and the one in town right across from the old mall. So great places, great specials, and you'll love it. So get out there and say, Coach sent you. So we'll get out there and enjoy. Look, listen, I'm going to give you it way too fast or way too early or whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to do that, Coach. I'm not going to say guess what. So let's
Alabama, Nick Saban.
There you go. We're going to talk about the FanDuel, where you can lose your money. FanDuel is the top 50 quarterbacks since 2000. So I can let you guess at number
College only, huh?
College only, yeah. So I can let you. I will just name the top 5. And number 5, Trevor Lawrence. Number 4, Vince Young.
Okay.
Number 3, Tim Tebow.
Oh.
Number 2, Cam Newton. Number 1, Joe Burrow. Okay, so
interesting.
Yeah, interesting. So Lamar Jackson, Johnny Football, Deshaun Watson.
I'm not sure I'd have had Trevor at 5.
Tua's there at number 14, and you're not going to believe that James Winston is at number 16. So, I'll
tell you another guy who, because he didn't pan out in the NFL, probably people forget how good he was in college. But I think you could make a case at 5 for Matt Leinart from USC.
He's number 7.
Yeah.
So according to them, and then Baker Mayfield's number 8. Lamar Jackson is 9. Andrew Luck, who played at Stanford,
He's very good.
Very good. So, and then when you get over here, the bottom section, Caleb Williams from Southern Cal, he was okay.
11 to 15. I mean, Heisman winner. 11 to 15, probably right.
Yeah. So, and then how about RG3? He was 17th.
That's very good.
Yeah. Sam Bradford, okay. Jaden Daniels, LSU. Let's see, Colt McCoy, Number 20 from Texas. Okay.
He's such a what if. What if Darius didn't knock him out of that championship game?
So,
that's
true.
But he was very good, but
and so
I don't know.
Here's the thing.
Well, let's go to the top 3.
All right.
Because I'm not against those being the 3.
Right.
Now it just comes down to preference, right? Cam Newton had the best single year, I think, of the 3 of them.
Right. But
Joe Burrow was probably on the best team of the 3 of them and won the Heisman. All of them won the Heisman. Yeah. Tebow had the best career.
I think he was the most consistent, don't you think?
Yeah, he had the best career multiple years.
Right.
So it's kind of what do you value? I'd almost put Tebow number 1. As much as that pains me to say.
Me too.
Well, they're all SEC foes for me, so it's hard.
So here's how I would look at it.
Yeah.
Because I think a little oddly.
Okay.
No, we know
if
that.
you, well, yeah. so you take the top 3.
Yeah.
Put Tebow on the LSU team instead of Burrow.
Mm-hmm.
What's the offense? Put Cam Newton on that team. What's the offense? Enter swap, and then logically go, well, how well do they perform under that offensive scheme between those 3 teams?
So, interestingly enough, in that scenario, I love Burrow. I think he was tremendous at something. He's the best at shifting in the pocket I think I've ever seen. I think Burrow would struggle more with Auburn and Florida than Newton would with the other 2, and that Tebow would with the other 2.
Yeah, I think Burrow would struggle with Florida, a little bit with Auburn. They still had some really good receiving routes. Tebow, I think, would do well at Auburn. I think he would struggle a little bit at LSU because he wasn't as much as a passing quarterback.
True.
He needed the RPO.
I think his ability to run, though, pinches those backers and opens those crazy receivers
and
up
that's where I go to the style.
That's
they
true.
were more of a pro set.
Yeah, that's true.
Not an RPO.
That's right.
If they ran more RPO, I think he's just phenomenal.
Yeah.
Because with the outside receivers and then I can't think of his name that was at running back that went to Kansas City.
Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah. I think that's just everything that was around Burrow was just dynamic.
Yeah.
Well, James, what do you think?
Well, I mean, if we look at it, Tim Tebow was an absolute freak of nature if we just look at him athletically. He was not the greatest game manager, and if you look at what LSU has basically done with quarterbacks since, the beginning of time, LSU has always had game-managing quarterbacks. So Tebow probably won't fit great into that system because it's not the system that he would really thrive in, which is kind of the reason Tebow didn't do so well in the NFL, because you have to be able to stand that pocket and throw that ball on a dime, and he just didn't have it.
He was a creator.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's also funny how the 3 of them kind of fit into different roles. I think Burrow was the best traditional quarterback of the 3.
Pro style.
Yeah, I think Newton was by far the best athlete and could win you a game by himself of the 3. I think Tebow was the best leader of the 3. Like, they all kind of have their own lanes.
I still think LSU, with any of those 3 quarterbacks, wins the national championship.
I think that's right.
Oh, yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Auburn, I think with Burrow, doesn't win the national championship. I think with Tebow or Newton, they do. And I think Florida is kind of the same situation as Auburn. I don't know that Burrow, because he didn't have the receivers that he had. That would be the way I would kind of rank them, and then it becomes between
Florida,
Tebow and Newton.
Florida had great players around Tebow.
I'm not taking
that's
them
right.
down.
That's right. I mean, I'm not saying Auburn didn't.
They didn't have a Justin Jefferson.
That's right.
And all those guys that could just.
The thing for me with Burrow and LSU is look who he had as an offensive coordinator who knew how to create things just for him. Brady was there.
Well, ironically, he was just a passing game coordinator. I mean, they actually had what was his name? Now I'm blank. That shows you how influential Joe Brady was on that team. That I can't remember the OC's name at the time. That's going to drive me crazy that I can't do that. I'm going to have to look during the break. But yeah, that was a really special team. And it's not to take anything away from Joe Burrow, but I think you're right. I think
any
of the 3 could have won with that team.
You look at leadership. Tim Tebow was the leader.
Steve Ensinger.
That's right. That's right.
I think Tebow was the ultimate leader of the 3.
I agree.
Burrow, probably the 3rd on the leadership.
Mm-hmm.
He had great players that he had around him, where the other two, I think, make the other players great.
I think, to me, in my mind, I would view it as more of a career award because it is best quarterback over this, like that, and it doesn't say specifically one season. I would probably go Tebow, Cam, Burrow. I'd have a hard time between Cam and Burrow. If it was single season, I'd put Cam at the top because I don't think anyone's ever had one better season, just one person.
The Iron Bowl thing makes it stand out for me that, he comes in and does all that stuff. So, being an Auburn guy, I was like,
they were all great.
Yeah.
And ironically, this day and age, all we talk about is transfers. 2 of those 3 were transfers.
Yeah. That's true.
One,
That's true.
maybe not so
we're
much.
Not sure if
his will.
We're not sure if Burrow went to class. He actually.
I don't know if it was Newton's choice to transfer.
Well, he tried to take a computer with him, but they wouldn't let him.
Well, in Mississippi State, if they had $20,000 more, who knows? Maybe we'd have had one.
Build his dad's church, and you can
exactly. But no, I mean, the thing about that list you were reading off is you think, well, since 2000, it's not that long. A heck of a lot of big-time quarterbacks.
Correct, yeah. So
we're old enough to think it's not that long.
I know. I guess so. Well, here's the thing. I was already out of college by then, so to me that seems, it's not that long ago.
I was already in my 25th year of teaching.
I was married. And
yeah.
I tell you,
but I do think, and I said, and I'm glad he was so. I do think people sleep on how good Matt Leinart was in college. I really do. He just didn't pan out in the pros.
Right. We were talking about credits and everything. You guys were talking about taking this and that. I had to take a class in audio visual where I had to put together 16mm film through the sprockets because back when I started coaching, that's what you did. The first half went to the offense, second half went to the defense, and y'all graded on the film. I can still hear that thing going. And then you swap reels.
So I majored in broadcast communications, and obviously more of my bent was television and all like that. But we did a little bit of work with the sports video crew. That was more for the coaches and things like that. And I never forget, we were one of the first schools to have computer editing systems on campus. It was a company called Avid. If you guys are in TV, you'll know what I'm talking about. And I remember we went and delivered them to the athletic offices, and we put, Joe Lee Dunn was our defensive coordinator at the time. Yeah. Joe Lee Dunn had like a legal pad. That was Joe Lee Dunn's technology. And I remember we set this computer up for him and had it on his desk, and he come walking into his office, and he just looks at it. And we're like, Coach Dunn, how you doing? He's like, and just what in the hell is that? I said, well, this is your system where you can cut up this, that, or the other. And he goes, that thing looks awesome. And get it off of my desk.
Does it come with one of you?
Yeah, he had his legal pad. That's all he needed.
So we'd like to thank some of our sponsors before we take this break. Get out there and see the people at Pepper's. And also, you want to go by and see Steve's Bike Shop. Get a new one, get one fixed, whatever you need for them, and get expert advice. They sell helmets, everything. I went in there the other day. They got a menagerie of things that you wouldn't believe.
You know what's cool in there, too, is especially if you've been around here a long time, they have pictures all over the wall of people who've bought bikes there and all that. I always love going in there and looking for all the people that I know, and, that's really cool. So.
Max at Sports Nutrition. Also want to thank Newbies for all they do. The 5 great locations. J. Michael's Restaurant, coldest beer in town. Also, you want to get out there, Pat Perno and Adamson's fine jewelry right there in Lynn Haven. That's the key word.
Mother's Day is Sunday, fellas.
That's right. It's Mother's Day is
Don't
Sunday.
Forget.
Absolutely. And the Friday for me is Mother's Day. I have to pay this mother and that mother. So
don't wait till Friday to go get your jewelry. It might not be there.
That's true. So we'll be right back with the last segment. I know you're all cheering for that. So 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Take it, James.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
The Sports Blitz.
They save up to go watch their favorite team, their favorite player, and then you're going to sit him out because you want to get a better position in your draft process? Come on, man. Fans are the only reason why you're making the millions of dollars. The fans are the reason why that you're able to play this game that you love. Forget all this sitting out mess. That's not right.
The Sports Blitz.
Live and local, weekdays 4 to 6.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Anna on ESPN Northwest Florida with Monday's weather forecast. Sunny this afternoon and evening with a high near 76 and a wind 5 to 10 miles per hour. Clear skies tonight, a very light wind and a temperature of 61. About the same tomorrow, around 78 with mostly sunshine and a wind coming out of the south-southeast at 8 miles per hour. Partly sunny Wednesday, a gentle breeze and quite warm around 80. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
No one wants to deal with a plumbing, electrical, or HVAC emergency. It's even worse when you're not sure what it'll cost, when it'll get fixed, or if someone's just selling you something. When you call Hale, you can trust our experts to actually solve your home's problems quickly. And with true transparency pricing, you know the price you're told is the price you'll actually pay. Book online now at happyhiller.com. Happy you'll be, or the service is free.
Call the Happy Face Truck today.
Hewitt Tire and Auto has been in business in Panama City forever. Locals taking care of locals. From the smallest to the largest vehicles, they do it all. But don't take my word for it. Listen to the experts.
Hewitt Tire and Auto, your certified AAA service center and hometown towing.
Visit them online at HewittTire.com.
On Airport Road in Panama City.
850-769-7323. Hewitt Tire and Auto Center and hometown towing.
Now, it's the Coach James Hale Show.
Go nuts.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is the Glenn Manning special right here.
All right. We are back. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. We want to thank Drew for winning the Ferrucci's restaurant thing, and so just text us, let us know when you're going to be there, or I'm going to do like Brian said, I'm going to just sit there and ask everybody their name.
Are you Drew?
That's right. So, but Coach will be back tomorrow. That's either good or bad, depending on who you are. So.
Yep, forecast looks clear, so Coach will be back.
So, but you know. Here we go. Baseball's winding down. Softball is getting started for their the ACC tournament starts on Wednesday, and I'm sure the SEC, all the softball should be starting.
It may start tomorrow.
Yeah, some of them do. It depends on
right.
what conference. I just know that everybody got through playing yesterday, so we'll see what goes on with that. So I don't know. Is Oklahoma still the favorite to win the SEC?
I think so. I mean, it's one of those cases where, until someone beats them, I'm always going to start with Oklahoma.
Yeah, you know what amazes me, and it's kind of like when you play the Iron Bowl. You used to be played it at Birmingham. That's a little closer to Tuscaloosa than it is Auburn, but Oklahoma City is where they play the tournament.
Yeah.
Well, it's 40 miles from Norman, Oklahoma to Oklahoma City, just going north on the interstate. So I always like when they are on TV, they have the most fans here.
Yeah.
They look the most rested. I go, well, they're sleeping in their own beds.
I'll tell you, though.
Yeah.
You know who loves that more than even the Oklahoma fans? The Oklahoma athletic director.
Oh, absolutely.
That keeps them costs down.
It does. So, I know they won't do it, but you go, y'all just drive your car up there and park it. I know they won't do that, but anyway. So what do you think about playing in Oklahoma City?
It's just tradition.
It is. Yeah.
I wish, and understand the baseball is the same way, but I almost wish they would take it away and move it around the country.
Yeah. I mean,
the problem it's going to coincide with Major League Baseball, and there's going to be scheduling conflicts with all of that.
Well, it's weird with baseball because that's typically not a hotbed of college baseball. Unfortunately, you're playing this thing in June. I'll be honest with you, and I know TD Ameritrade's a much better part. But College World Series was Rosenblatt to me. So when you lost Rosenblatt Stadium to me, that would have been the time to bounce it. But I'm not against it staying.
You want me to tell you why it hasn't yet? Same thing with softball.
Yeah.
Nobody's offered money.
Yeah.
Right.
As soon as that's just the world we live in. If some city came out and said, we're going to give $8 million, $10 million to host the NCAA baseball tournament, I can tell, as sure as we're sitting here, the NCAA is going to be like, okay, what year you want to host it?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's take this caller. I think it's Big Nate. Nate, how you doing out there?
Hey, guys. Sorry, Coach ain't there, but you guys are holding down the fort pretty good today.
Yeah, thank you, Nate.
Well,
We're just trying.
I've only fallen out of the chair once.
Well, you guys were talking a little bit about high school, and I just wanted to give you an update. They got the lid peeled off of this field up here in Bozeman, and they're getting ready to put in turf.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
That's a good thing.
Right. No, I mean, I've been up here driving bus now for the better part of half a year or so, and to watch that happen and all kind of every little scoop of dirt that they're pulling out of here and packing back out behind the school because they're still working on the new high school building they got going. Hopefully that'll be done by the fall so they can get the seniors in there. We can alleviate some of these parking issues we got around here still.
Right.
But I mean, that field, it's going to be looking good though. They're out there really putting the dime in. They got the laser level out on that dozer, and they got that thing just boop. It looked like Hair Club for Men.
So you know why they had to build that one first, besides the Rutherford practice field. Bozeman's field was used 274 times last year. Whew. Tommy Oliver was only used 84 times.
Oh, jeez.
So, but you think about it. So, if Bozeman's football team's out of town, somebody in this town's playing there.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Well, it's not just if they're out of town. They play middle school games there. They play soccer games there.
Right.
The middle school plays there.
That's right.
I mean, everything with middle school has a field. Soccer, football.
Right.
They play there. It's a very highly used field.
Right. Yeah, and it doesn't matter. Yeah, whoever's out of town in that sport, that's when they play there. So.
Well, and that was what really surprised me. I think they held off on doing it this field this way here because they didn't add a football field to the rec center where they've got 6 baseball diamonds, and they could have just very well gave up one of those diamonds and put it in a football field for at least the little kids to practice on or something, but they decided to go with 6 fields, softball tournament, whatever. I don't know, but they're doing a good job. These contractors out here are really, really good at what they do, and I've moved dirt in my day. Trust me, I was a dirt farmer for a long time, and they did a good job. They were diligent. They did everything they need to do, and now that it's all prepped and ready to go, they can get that irrigation laid. And then
there's no irrigation.
To go from there.
Yeah.
So we'll see what goes on with that, and they're trying to build a new classroom wing up there. But they really want to build a high school. They don't need to go back down 77. They just need to go behind Bozeman, back in there to the corner.
Right. That's what they got. That's what they got over here. They got a nice big building, brick building, and they're just finishing up now. It should be ready by the fall. And they just got all their air conditioning done. I watched them do that for the main school. So, Bozeman it's up and coming, man. You never know. This school, they're ready to play. So, I mean, I got kids that are telling me they're out there, 8th graders going up against seniors juniors, because of spring ball and stuff. And man, he got his head knocked in a couple of times. It's like, well, that you got to pay your price.
Well, that's the schools like Bozeman, Port St. Joe, and sometimes I think maybe Rutherford. If you got a middle school at your school, the 8th graders can actually come to spring practice. Otherwise, the kids from Jinx can't go to Bay or Rutherford if you're in the 8th grade. They have to be a bona fide 9th grader before they can practice.
Right. I mean, it's kind of weird how that works, but because they're in the same system, I guess it's okay. So I don't mind it. I mean, years are years. It doesn't matter. A lot of these kids are behind in years anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, most of the coaches though are pretty know what's happening with that. They try not to do it like a senior with an 8th grader or somebody like that that's going to be get hurt doing something like that. They try to work on it.
Now, did they get a new coach this year?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
That's Maddox. He came over from Mosley.
Mosley's offensive coordinator. That's right.
He's a good dude. He's going to do well.
Well, I hope they do well because I sure do enjoy, schlepping these kids around and getting to the school on time. That's what I do. So, I just want to let everybody know the school buses are still out there. We got 17 days left. And if you see a stop sign, please stop.
Yes,
absolutely. Because, them kids are important to us, and we put a lot of time and effort into making sure these kids get to school and home safely. So,
agree.
Yes, sir. We agree with you. So
there's my PSA for today.
Well, we appreciate you driving them around. We thank you so much.
Well, no problem. We just do our jobs with what we got. So
that's true.
Appreciate it, Nate.
That's true. Appreciate it, Nate.
You guys have a great day. Enjoy the Monday, and then maybe Coach will be back. But you guys are doing great. So
who needs Coach Hale?
If it's a fair weather tomorrow, he'll be back. But if it looks cloudy,
right.
Sure.
It depends on if he's golfing or fishing, one of the two.
Well, I think he's out doing his nature studies for the wild world of nature. So.
All right, I'll see you later.
All right, thanks, Nate.
We've been laughing all day, talking about, I'm old because, since 2000, I had this thought when he said they're putting in the air conditioners. And my freshman and sophomore year at Murphy High School, we didn't have air conditioners in most of the buildings.
Nashville, we didn't have it either.
Because we had that biology building, had them black top desks.
Oh, yeah.
And those things, and, end of August, oh, my God.
Glenn, what was it like taking, middle school classes in a field?
Well, as long as we had the outhouse, we were doing good. So, but we had two-seater, no waiting.
Who was your teacher, Cain or Abel?
Actually, it was Esau. But anyway, the funny part is, my high school was a 4-story building. Okay, and so we had the 90-inch windows, and they opened them up. So, in high school. Nowadays, you would have to have a big screen or bars over it so you wouldn't jump out.
Oh, yeah. Every one of my buildings, all the windows were open most of the year.
Yeah. So we would go look out the window, but we wouldn't, do something crazy like jumping out. Well, listen, James has given me the finger. Thankfully, it's the right one to say 1 minute. So anyway, but we want to thank you, Pat. Tell us a little bit more about what's going on with your guys.
It's mole cricket season. Give us a call locally at 850-890-5820 before they can get out there and do the damage to your turf. And then we can also do your household pest control.
Thank you so much. We want to get out there, get to all of our sponsors, add them some jewelry, Beef O'Brady's. Make sure you go to J. Michael's, all local, and Matt Fix Sports Nutrition, Peppers, Steve's Bike Shop.
Vandergrift make you a roof.
Yeah, Vandergrift. TK Vandy, can't say enough about him. So get out there and see all those guys. And hopefully you'll all be with us tomorrow. 104.3 ESPN. We are out, and watch the Braves game starting at 5:30 or 7:25.
104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Real local winners.